first GenXers.
Poetic beats, poetic beats, poetic beats, poetic beats. There we go. How y'all doing out there in radio land? This is the one and only Dark Lord 100, aka Double KK Double, and this you are listening to right now, or watching, or seeing, or talking to, who knows?
You are observing.
You are observing is the Cheap Pop Podcast. Gentlemen, you just heard speak right now is the one and only Dave Runescrier. What's up, brother, from the night shift?
Hey, hey.
And sitting below us, you can hear him laughing right now, is the man with the master plan, the leader with the cornmeal, the saint.
What the fuck? What the fuck was that?
I am
every episode.
Cornmeal, like, what the hell
I
is
am
that?
staying in my lane on that.
What was that?
You don't use cornmeal to bake?
Yeah, I can use cornmeal to bake only with cornbread and Thanksgiving and shit like that. But damn, bro, the cornmeal, nigga.
With the cornmeal. All right. All right, so let's jump on into it. What everybody's been wanting to hear, you know. A lot of people have seen it, some people have not. The newest installation in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, otherwise known as Captain America, Brave New World. We've talked about this movie for months now because we kind of ate up every little factoid that's come out about it, every little new piece of information. Now it's finally here. Completed movie on the big screen, loud and clear. Fun to watch. Overall, I thought it was different than most Marvel movies. And what I mean by that is not good or bad, not better or worse, but different. In the fact that this is the first time that I've ever watched a Marvel movie and kind of felt like I was being dropped in mid-book. And you know what I'm saying, and led to, and not even given the full like story all the way to the end. I feel like I was given, like I was dropped to the middle of a book and then given like a chapter or two and then told to close the book.
Yeah.
But it didn't cheapen the experience, at least not for me. I know Saint has seen it, so I'll leave him to give his personal thoughts real quick on it before we dive into any specific ones.
Let's just break it down here. For those that don't know the comic books, be quiet, okay? For those that have not watched The Incredible Hulk, the second movie in the Marvel series, you be quiet too.
The Edward Norton Hulk.
Yeah, the Edward Norton Hulk, but that's, the Incredible Hulk, because, there were two movies within the 2000s, which was almost 10 years apart, but we don't count the Eric Bana Hulk. Okay.
No offense to Eric Bana, he did a great job.
Yeah, he did a great job.
It wasn't
And
him.
no-
Here.
Yeah. And
this
no offense to
is
Ang Lee either for the
Yeah, no
direction.
offense to Ang Lee.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah, definitely that. Let's just talk about the whole thing with the music thing and the yada. I mean, that was kind of cool. The kind of sleeper agent for those out there. Spoilers, sorry, but can't help but to talk about it. Um, the sleeper agent thing was a good idea.
yeah,
The leader, coming up from behind the scenes, it was okay, but
yeah.
I don't know. It was kind of going all over the place with this movie.
Well,
It
I
it
think.
it, it really, I mean, it really was like,
Well, to me, I think this was. I will say this: Marvel, up till this point, has done a pretty good job of setting up their overall storylines. I think this one came out. I can agree that this one came out a little clunky compared to most.
okay, and
Like,
and
um,
well, now I was gonna say, and then that to me, and for those, I hate to say it, spoiler alerts again, but that was a piss poor origin story for Antimanium.
well,
Adamantium.
okay.
Yeah,
Here's the thing that I like it.
that
He,
kind of. I mean,
I
we know about the celestial,
Right.
in the ice and the whole 9 yards, but
But
that,
the point is that they actually um, they recognize that the events of Eternals
I was
happen.
just gonna say
yeah,
that. Thank
yeah. I
you,
was
Dave.
gonna
Like,
say, oh
Yeah.
no,
like
no, I
that.
was
That
gonna
was a
Yeah.
mention
huge
that.
thing about this movie is that
That
it
was
canonized
yeah.
two former movies that were a part of the Marvel timeline, but weren't necessarily always considered a part
Right.
part of, and it fully canonized them. And I'll get to in a little bit, Dave. I'll let you have your piece
Yeah.
right now, but I'll get to in a little bit. I told Saint about this earlier. What it does for that fight between the Abomination and the Hulk in that '08 movie. So, go on, Dave.
But yeah, I mean, because that had been a minor flaw in that, okay, so there's this island in the Pacific that's basically just this giant hand reaching up from the crust as, a space god was, you know, unalived
Yeah,
mid-birth. Um, so, and nobody's talking about it. That was a big thing in the fan community.
yeah,
But it also is a big thing because, excuse me, it was a part of the disassociation between the Netflix Defenders saga and the rest of the MCU, where the Marvel TV shows, the Netflix shows, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., they were connected to the Marvel Universe, but not really a part of the Marvel Universe. You know what I'm saying?
well, I've
aside
always.
from aside from that season of Agents of Shield that
Yep.
led up to the reveal in Age of Ultron.
Well, no, no. Actually, hold on. I will say this: Agents of Shield almost perfectly followed with the MCU all the way through Thor: Dark World. Like after Dark World, Agents of Shield took a left, and the MCU kept going
Right,
straight. You know what I'm
right.
saying? And they
But
explained
there's
that
still
with the whole time travel
yeah,
thing and the Earth and
yeah.
all. Yeah, they were in a different
But
timeline, and but
but
no,
the
but
but
the
the
go ahead.
problem was the dysfunction, the minor dysfunction that was happening within Marvel at that time,
Yeah,
where you had this tug of war where the TV part of the MCU didn't want to make reference to the movies
yeah,
at all. I mean, Agents of Shield had minimal
right.
references to stuff that were happening, and stuff didn't necessarily translate from Agents of Shield over into the greater MCU. Like, for example,
Yep.
Graviton.
I got it.
Graviton is a massive, powerful villain,
Right.
and yet he never appears again.
Well,
Okay,
yeah, no. Like I said,
Defenders,
It's kind of
but
like
Defenders.
Graviton
Death
doesn't
Yeah,
Flash.
appear till like season
yeah.
6, season 7. Like what I'm
Oh
saying is
no,
like the
no. We
first.
see his origin. We see his origin in season one.
Yeah.
Gravitron?
Yep.
Graviton, yeah.
Okay.
Deathlock, yeah.
Oh,
Yep.
And
Deathlock.
Deathlock.
yeah,
Oh yeah,
and
Deathlock. Yeah.
the defenders suck. I mean, we hear that New York almost got wiped off the map, but we don't ever come back to that. There's
Right.
tangential references
Well,
to
they said
greater.
from the get go though that the Netflix series did not take place in the same universe as the Infinity War MCU storyline. Like they
Not
because I no,
no,
because Kevin Feige outright said that that's not the same. They're bringing them back
yeah,
underneath the MC
but
into the
Kevin,
MCU.
what Kevin
But yeah,
Feige what Kevin Feige said is that we will not. They said they are doing their own thing there.
right
We will not be bringing in stuff from
there. Yeah.
their territory into ours.
Well, they
Just
had
like
to an extent.
they will not be bringing stuff from our territory into theirs.
Well, that was. I'll say it like this: they left themselves no choice but to do that. I'll say it like this: unless you introduce Mike Coulter, not Mike Coulter, but Luke Cage,
Mhm.
Jessica Jones, Iron Fist, and the Punisher.
Well,
Unless you introduce all of them in the MCU initially, right? You can't bring them together because it makes no sense why in the original Avengers Tony Stark builds Avengers Tower in the middle of Manhattan and doesn't know that there's four other superheroes like literally 6 blocks away.
Yeah, I know, but
Like
Well,
so they
yes,
force themselves into a position where they have to admit,
but
okay,
here's
this isn't happening in the same
no, there
time.
was
but that
there were slight references
the defenders, yeah,
during
because they couldn't
during the
because
defenders.
Right, but what I'm
Very
saying is that
small
Tony Stark
slight references.
yeah,
yes, but there's no reference in the MCU to them existing. And it made no
yes,
sense because there's no reason why Tony Stark can find Spider-Man in Brooklyn, but he doesn't come across Luke Cage. He doesn't come across the Punisher. He doesn't come across Jessica Jones, and they're all right there in the surrounding boroughs.
but
So
then again,
so it just made no sense.
but that mirrors the comics. I
Does
mean,
it?
Yeah.
let's face it. New York is crawling with Marvel. New York is crawling with superheroes
Uh,
that don't get in the Avengers.
well,
Right.
no,
Okay,
I'm not saying he should have
because
brought him into the Avengers, but
right,
he doesn't even
but
acknowledge their existence.
because they're not what he needs at the time. I mean, and let's face it. Let's face it. You've got a Thunder God, a super soldier, dude flying around in a couple $1 billion worth of personal high tech offensive
But you
armor,
can't
and
use a
you've
dude
got
who's
and you
basically a walking tank who can take
but
bullets from anybody and
but
not
but but
die.
but, but, but
Like,
that's not my point.
well, no,
Okay,
I get what you're saying.
those
No, I do.
right, but no, but those three,
Yeah.
just those three, are gonna let a vigilante run around shooting up the bad parts of New York
Yeah.
with an M60
Yeah. No.
and not do anything about it.
No.
The Punisher has always had adamantium level plot armor.
Yeah.
Okay,
Well, okay. So
yeah,
let's get back to the movie because you brought up
but
another
yeah,
point
get back.
that
Yeah,
that I actually enjoyed or that I actually pointed out to Saint of there were two big things about this and what we talked about them bringing other it canonized the fully solidified canonized the whatchamacallit. And I also brought up the point to him this morning that if you watch the movie and the way they talk about that incident happened recently, which takes it from way pre-Infinity War and brings it post-snap. And so I'm like, okay, so that shifts that whole movie there. That's now happening, this most recently. That
Mhm.
was one thing. And then second of all, like you said, one of the biggest gripes of the fans was that in no MCU product since the Eternals has anybody acknowledged this big ass head and hand coming up out the side of the earth. Nobody acknowledged. Really, the Avengers are not going to acknowledge this. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like, what the happened here? So I agree with you. Like that was another good thing about it because despite the fact that I agree with you, it was kind of a weak. I agree with Saint in the fact that it was kind of a weak way to bring adamantium into the MCU, but it killed two birds with one stone. It allowed them to finally have the MCU world acknowledge what happened in Eternals and it allows them to bring adamantium in because they still technically, although they still technically haven't introduced mutants yet. Even
No,
though
yeah.
we've had the
Well,
Runaways and
Miss Marvel,
Mhm.
Miss
they
Marvel season one
mentioned
at the end, they mentioned that she is a human mutant at the end
right,
when her
but
buddy.
it hasn't been addressed in a way that
No,
tells us that
no.
there's more than her out there.
Yes,
You see what
exactly.
I'm saying?
I yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So though we've seen our first mutant, I doubt. I can't say I doubt we're close to the X-Men, but we're closer than
Well,
we
I
were
think we're
5 years
years
ago.
away. I
Yeah.
think we're years away for the X-Men.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
That
all
I mean, that's
they're
real.
they're still casting for
Yeah.
X-Men at this point. So I think that they're laying the groundwork for Avengers Doomsday.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
and that's when we're gonna have all the incursions, all the universes compressed, and we go forward with a unified MCU.
Okay. Now, here's a question from Deadpool and Wolverine. Does Deadpool's existence within the MCU now mean that the X-Men are? Because with Wolverine
Technically,
being there, technically the X-Men have to exist somewhere, or else
yeah.
Wolverine doesn't exist.
Well,
So
they're just they're in one of the branches off the sacred timeline that hasn't been folded in yet.
right, and
And
visited yet. All
yeah,
right, well we'll see where they're going. Like I said, I liked how they introduced Red Hulk. It makes me wonder what they're gonna do with him moving forward. Um, I liked reaching back to Sam Stern as the villain. Uh, it was like I said, it was well done. I'll be honest with you. I loved the small bits of time that Isaiah Bradley was on camera. Like
yeah,
he wasn't the whole movie. They didn't surround the whole movie around him, but he was enough of the movie to feel important, and I like that.
yeah,
You know, I want to say Harrison Ford. I'll be honest with you. I wasn't necessarily over the hill or over the moon about Harrison Ford taking over for what was his name,
William Hurt.
William
William
Hurt
Hurt.
as Thunderbolt Ross because I really I thought he fit the look and the feel and the whole
Well,
gruffness of
I
it
mean,
very well.
yeah, I mean, but what you gonna do? Dude's dead.
Yeah, I know, but I feel that
Look,
Harrison Ford did a good job. Like I
Right.
felt that Harrison Ford carried on the legacy of the character
Yeah.
well.
listen,
Yeah.
I'll say this. If anything, if he would have been up to it, I would have rather had Sam Elliott back into the role of Thunderbolt Ross because
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was a bad motherfucker there,
yeah,
man.
Yeah.
yeah,
But
Like he gave zero fucks,
yeah.
yep.
all of that.
And
I mean, don't get me wrong, William Hurt, William Hurt did his thing.
yeah.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? As Ross, but come on, man. Sam
Yeah.
Elliott, he man.
Yeah. I mean, there's
Yeah.
there's very few gruff old white guys still active
Still
that
acting
can
out there.
that can fill the role. And
You're especially kind of stupid. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, exactly.
Uh,
But there's very few people that can pull it off, and basically there's just a few others other than William Hurt, Sam Elliott, and Harrison Ford who could do that.
now,
Uh,
the last thing I did want to talk about before we move forward is I saw a few trailers that I liked. We've spoken about a couple of them already. Fantastic Four was amazing on the big screen. Still, I don't know if I'm feeling Pedro Pascal though. Like I just don't know. I'm gonna have to go see that movie and see. Um,
yeah,
we saw Thunderbolts, which was pretty good. Like I like movies like Thunderbolts because it opens up dialogue. Like I was explaining to my daughter who all the Thunderbolts were. Like I was like, yeah, that's Red Guardian. I was like, him and Elena are from Black Widow. I was like, Bucky. I was like, oh yeah, what was that? Senator Bucky
No.
Barnes?
Yeah.
What the
Yeah.
hell? But
Um,
anyway,
and
yeah, go on.
then
Say
and then also the debut of Century.
yeah.
Century.
Yeah, that's
He's
Marvel's
Marvel's
Superman.
version of Superman.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
more
But
than
you
Hyperion.
ah
Yeah, way yeah, more
Yeah,
and so
powerful than
it's
Hyperion.
yeah. I was not I was not reading when he came out. Uh, you know, just going on the Marvel database, kind of back checking. Yeah, this
Yeah,
guy's backstory is
yeah,
yeah. Uh,
yeah, and
when you start doing a deep dive into his backstory, make sure you've got you're a little bit elevated, shall we say?
all right, for sure.
and as that's Bill Pullman's son also that's playing
Really?
Nice.
that's playing
Okay.
him.
He's
Uh,
playing
but
Sentry. Okay, cool.
so the one I wanted to tap on here was, and I was telling Saint, the one that actually did get me hyped and almost jumping out my seat was Ballerina. For those that don't know, Ballerina is a spin-off, so to speak, of the John Wick universe with a new female lead playing the
Ana
Wick.
de Armas.
Yes, playing the Wick type character. I won't say she's playing John Wick because he's in there, Baba Yaga, my boy. Uh, and uh, and that one was the one that stood out of all the ones I saw. Of course, Karate Kid Legends stood out to me. I'll tell you guys a quick anecdote after we talk about this of what I told my daughter about that movie. But in general, yeah, like that was the one that hooked me. Is I was like, okay, I'm feeling this. I like John Wick. I told him I haven't really seen past the second one. I need to see the third, the fourth one, and I know I need to watch the Continental on Peacock. Um, but yeah, I'm definitely. It's making me want to spend some of my free time um, looking at catching up on the John Wick films, so that way I can go into that and know what's going on. So, any thoughts on Ballerina? You okay, Dave? We can't have nobody,
Yeah,
dying on air
yeah.
here. All
Red,
right,
You'll be all
red,
right.
yeah.
all
Red
right.
drink's just trying to kill me. So,
So yeah, so Saint, your thoughts on Ballerina and where it's going to take the John Wick universe as a big fan yourself.
Well, basically it takes place between chapter 3 and chapter 4. So you're gonna get a little bit of in between of where just where it's going.
Okay.
A femme fatale, somebody that somebody new to the
yep,
action scene. And it was gonna eventually gonna be some kind of an offshoot because I
Yep.
mean even the Continental on Peacock is pretty decent.
Yeah. The
So I
Continental.
like that whole so I like that whole I like that whole universe
yeah.
setup. But we'll see how it goes.
Well, 100%. Dave, any thoughts on Ballerina? Now that you can you breathe? Are you okay?
Yeah, I'll be okay. Um, yeah, I mean, I'm not that big of a John Wick guy. I don't know. I've sort of fallen out of the 80s action hero genre
Yeah.
as something, as like it's a much. Yeah,
Wow.
No, man,
yeah.
you all
Well,
right, bro?
It's a
yeah.
yeah. I swear I didn't add anything to the Kool-Aid. Okay, no whiskey, no vodka, no nothing. Just went down the wrong tube as it does sometimes. So, um, but yeah, I mean, it's just it's. I appreciate John Wick. It's just not must see.
Yeah. Same here. Like I definitely love like the what I've seen of the movies in general. Like I've loved. I've never not
Yeah,
enjoyed a John Wick movie, but I've also never been one that I'm like, oh my god, like until well, Ballerina. Yeah. Now with this one, I'm all about
yeah.
it. I don't know why.
Well, because
But
because you didn't see 3 and 4, right?
yeah, I haven't seen 3 and 4 yet. So
Yeah, just with Halle Berry.
I didn't like her in Swordfish.
No, but she.
Oh, dude, Kev, were you with us in the crew when we went to go see Swordfish all together?
No.
Okay, because literally, I'm with Jamil, our friend of the program,
Uh,
and I want to say Abdul and Hav and Steve,
mm,
and we all go watch Swordfish, and we know what's coming.
yeah.
When we all heard it, and then when the moment comes and Holly Berry,
Flashes down.
flashes us, we're like,
Bravo.
yeah, it was just
Bravo.
okay. Well, yeah, nothing spectacular, but hey.
You know,
So, but yeah,
and she definitely had no business being Storm. Anyway,
yeah.
I'll keep throwing that out there. Holly, come find me if you mad. I know you crazy, but come find me if you mad. But you should have never been Storm. That should have been Angela Bassett a long time ago.
Okay,
Very
Angela
much.
Bassett, yeah, but you know what though? I really thought, if anything, Iman she could have been Storm.
Yes,
Yeah, I think she could have been.
that
She
is
had the
very
accent
yes,
for sure.
Yeah.
yes.
I just don't know if she's a good enough actress. Uh, and mom was good though. Mom was a good actress. All right.
Yeah.
So the little anecdote I was going to tell you about. So we saw the trailer again for Karate Kid Legends. As y'all know, y'all have all, if you've been watching the show, I've been hyped for Legends for a while now. I was hyped. I just rewatched the final season of Cobra Kai all the way through to the end. And if you have not seen it, you are missing out. If you have a Netflix account already for any other reason, just check it out. Cobra Kai. Boom.
Yep.
Um, so I'm super juiced for Legends. So I'm sitting there, and we see the trailer, and then we go walk by the poster, and I look at my daughter, and I go, "Yeah, we're gonna be in the theater for that." And she goes, "I said, what? You don't want to go?" She's like, "I've never even seen the first movies." Ah, now you just set up something for us to do. And she was like, "Oh man," I was like, "Yep." Now we got to watch the first three movies. And she's like, "What?" I was like, "Before that movie comes out at the end of May." And she's
What
like,
you're not gonna
"Okay,
include? You're not gonna include the next Karate Kid?
we'll see." Cobra Kai didn't, so why should I? Anyway,
Oh, oh, oh
uh,
man,
uh,
the
but anyway,
disrespect to Hillary
so she
Swank.
says,
Jeez.
she looks at me, and she goes, "But why?" She goes, "You're gonna make me go watch it?" I was like, "Yeah, yeah." And instead of hitting her with some inspirational like, because karate, you don't know what it's done for our lives. I looked at her and said, "I got two words for you: Frozen 2." And she was like, "What?" I was like, "I'd have never saw that movie if it wasn't for you and her and your godmother's children wanting to go see it. So since you made me go see Frozen 2, guess what? You gonna be right there with me for Karate Kid." And she's like, "I guess. All right." I was just like, I'm like,
That's blackmail, dude.
yep,
Man,
yep.
Good answer.
you played that IOU like a reverse reverse card.
Uh, I was like,
Oh,
nah. I was like, actually, you're gonna go see it with me because I love you and I want you to go see the movie with me. And she's like, okay, fine. But in reality, yes. Like I love seeing the trailer. Like I love it because of this. I am a big martial arts guy. I am not a big karate guy. I have always been more of a kung fu guy. When it came to the movies, when it came to which art I wanted to study, so on and so forth, I've always been more of a kung fu guy. Legends is basically the Karate Kid series switching over to, as our friend of the show Jamil would affectionately put it, the Kung Fu Kid. Uh, so, with the transition over to Jackie Chan being the new Mr. Miyagi type character, and
yeah.
Ben Wong being the new Daniel San type character, and the official passing of the torch from Daniel San himself, from Ralph Macchio. I think that this movie is going to basically transition it to where. And I love their explanation, and we talked about this with the trailer. I love their explanation about different branches, same tree. Anybody who's studied martial arts in their life knows that that's the way most martial artists look at all martial arts. Is we're all martial artists. It's just different branches of the same tree. So bringing that thought process as they transition forward into this new style of martial arts is amazing. And really, what's hilarious is if you watch Cobra Kai, even the Miyagi Do guys are doing a mixture of kung fu and karate. Like they're not just plainly studying karate. If you watch their movements, their katas, etc.
Right.
And so it's funny to me that it's not funny to me, but it's awesome to me that they're transitioning into that. A lot of these martial arts can be mixed together, uh, it's going to make for an interesting story moving forward. So I can't
Yeah.
wait to see where they go with it.
I'll agree with that.
Yeah, I'll catch it when probably not in theaters, but when it comes available on streaming.
On
So
streaming, right on. Like I said, I'll just be there in the theaters because I was a big Cobra Kai guy. So they already got my money for Cobra Kai. They can have my money for that as well. All right, so now we're gonna move into everybody's favorite segment. That is dun, 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 dun.
that's a
Let's
totally long intro.
huh?
That's a totally long intro. For
That it is.
Yeah, like
That it is. I figured
yeah,
I'd set us up. It's got a little music to it. Let people slowly come into our world. Welcome to my world. Anyway, Dave, go ahead and kick us off. You got some subjects for us here on Pop Culture Bar.
okay. So let's start off with. I need to find out where I put everything into. Okay, so we're going with various TV series. Um, all right, kids, grab your mirror shades because Apple TV Plus is doing an adaptation of the foundational cyberpunk novel Neuromancer.
Nice.
Now, for those of you who are unaware, Neuromancer is the foundation of the cyberpunk genre.
Okay.
Um, it was basically it is a science fiction triple crown winner in that it won the Hugo, the Nebula, and the other big science fiction literary award um,
Wow.
the year they came out. Um, but it's also one of those stories that is foundational in the way that it's changed the relationship between science fiction and real life. You
Okay.
know
yeah,
how like Star Trek with the transporters, um, everyone's in real life trying to replicate that technology created because it's so versatile in there.
Yeah.
Neuromancer was the first novel to predict and is the foundation of our glorious internet.
Okay.
Whole
okay,
idea before Neuromancer, there was what was called ARPANET, which was just basically a bunch of government and scientific research computers talking to each other. Neuromancer was the first time that we had a science fiction story revolving around a global computer network connected in a lot of the terms that we take for granted now,
Okay.
like the net, um, like cyberspace. All
Okay.
that stuff originated with Neuromancer. The
Nice.
problem is that it's almost like Disney's John Carter of Mars,
Okay. John
where,
Carter.
yeah, it's
that
been,
that disaster of a film. Okay,
well, it's been so long and so much stuff has come after it that people are going to watch it and just kind of go, huh? So they ripped off Ghost in the Shell?
Let's not even discuss. Oh please, Lord have mercy. Let us not discuss Ghost in the Shell,
I
especially
love the
with
anime. I
Scarlett
hated the movie.
Yeah,
Johansson.
yeah,
I never went and saw it.
but that's
Good.
that's the thing. It's it's like it's just
The
been a
original,
while.
yeah,
Yeah,
just the original one
Yeah.
yeah,
from the '90s,
I
where
love the
yeah,
video
yeah,
game too.
the
The video game was
Bancroft.
pretty awesome.
Oh yeah, we used to play the
yeah,
game on the PlayStation during the Bancroft days. But
Yeah.
geez,
yeah,
man, yeah,
yeah.
I think you beat that, Kevin, didn't you?
I think I came close. I don't remember if I actually did or not.
I know
Smoked a lot of
Steve
weed
beat it.
during those days.
Yeah. Oh God.
So so yeah, but anyway, so that and also it's been in development hell for like 30 plus years at this point.
Yeah.
So it's been gone from a feature film to now a streaming TV series. Who knows where they're going to end up with it?
It's
Who
probably
knows
gonna
if
be a
it's going to
it's
come
probably
out?
gonna be a fan film after a while.
We don't know. So, but those of us in the cyberpunk space, before it was cool, we've been waiting for this, and we're just kind of like, I'll believe it when I see it.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
it's like the Robotech film.
It's kind of like GTA 6.
Yeah.
We'll believe it
Okay.
when it's actually here. Yeah,
Oh,
you can keep telling us it's coming all you want, but we'll believe it when it's actually here.
but yes. Now, but what is definitely coming? The next Avatar. And no, I'm not talking about the blue guys. No, we have the next Avatar, as in the last Airbender.
The
Um,
animated series, right?
and we have details on it. The animated series,
Okay.
the original creators, Michael D. Martino and Brian Konetsko, are developing it.
Okay.
This is taking place after Korra. So
Oh, okay.
Okay.
this is the Avatar after Korra, which next in the
Oh,
cycle
this is
is
the
going
one
to be
with the
another
Okay, yeah,
twins.
because
Yeah, with the
Cora.
twin avatars, and yeah, okay, I know what
no,
you're talking about.
it's not. Yeah. And the Avatar herself is going to be disabled. She's missing a leg and it's got a prosthetic
Yeah,
on her leg. Um, so we'll see how, because she's an earthbender, so she could possibly metal bend. So we'll see how that goes.
that'd be super dope.
Okay, so
Have her run and talk
so
Yeah.
how many years? How many years
after Cora.
is gonna be after Cora?
Well, I mean, Korra dies, but the important thing is that it's going to be called Avatar Seven Havens,
Seven Havens. Okay.
and something happens at or near the end of Korra's life that pretty much turns all the nations into a post-apocalypse. We don't know what's going on.
Wow.
We're trying to figure it out.
Okay.
So some people, the Avatar fan community is kind of split on this, in that some people are like, oh my God, Korra broke the world,
Yeah.
and it's like, oh, that's just such a Korra thing to do. She was never really. It's like, and some people are like, look, Korra is not the first Avatar to have stumbled.
Right.
Okay.
Aang stumbled a few times.
Aang stumbled a few times. Aang dropped off the face of the earth for 100 years.
Yeah.
Okay, before him, Roku allowed a war to start that lasted 100 years because he didn't want to fight his friend.
Right.
Okay, so let's not pretend that Aang is the source of all things that are good and great in the Avatar verse. Okay,
Yeah.
so something happens, and I think that people were just. I agree with some people that the fandom was kind of turned off by Korra because she was just really too brash compared to Aang. in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
Aang was much more cautious than Korra is. Korra was just balls to the wall, full throttle on everything. So, and each avatar has their own personality. It may be the same spirit, but it's a different personality each time. So we'll see how this new avatar works out. But that should be coming out next year.
Okay.
26 episodes.
26 episodes is going to be the first season. That's going to be interesting.
Split into 2 books.
Split into 2 books. Okay.
So
Well,
13
Korra was 3 books, right?
Yeah,
Aang was
and
3 books.
so-
Korra was 3 books. Okay.
Yeah, so we'll see.
I think so.
Yeah, so we'll see how it goes. Um, yep. So the titular Seven Havens refers to a handful of small civilizations that have managed to weather the storm.
Okay.
So
I
we'll
can't wait.
yeah, and also in the world, the Avatar is reviled and seen as a harbinger of doom instead of a hero. So
I can believe that after Korra.
it's
Like,
it's
because she literally damn
Avatar.
near tore
could
apart
too.
the world in her 3
Yeah.
years. So,
Yeah, it's Avatar the Dragon Reborn.
yep. All right.
So, all right. So that's one more thing. Let's see. That's for
We got time for
later.
about one more.
Yeah.
More good
Okay.
stuff.
So next more, Halo gets a respawn.
What?
After the Halo TV series got dropped by Paramount,
Boo.
Netflix is picking it up, and it's coming
Yes!
to Netflix. It's coming to Netflix March 1st.
Yes.
Oh wow!
Like, are they bringing a new season, or is it just going to be
They are bringing they are picking up the old stuff and they're doing a new season.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I'm here. I'm going to say it like this: if you didn't
I'm with
watch
that.
the Halo series, and you just saw me throw my hands in the air, yeah, I
Yep.
was never a fan of Halo the game. Like, I didn't like playing it. I've said it many times during our video game segment here. I am not a first-person shooter type of type of gamer. I never really have been. Y'all see when I play on Twitch, I play mainly sports games and RPGs and Yu-Gi-Oh. But
Yeah.
but like, I got really into the Halo series with the first season of the Halo series on Paramount Plus. I got extremely into it. And when they said that they were canceling it after the second season, that broke my heart because that series was actually super dope.
Now, caveat emptor. This news is coming from Windows Central
Okay.
from a UK reviewer.
Okay.
Now, if you go on Netflix US, you'll notice that there's no mention of Halo TV coming to Netflix this Saturday.
Yeah.
Okay, so there could still be
A delay for the US
licensing.
market.
Yeah, there could still be licensing issues. We don't know, but apparently Netflix UK will be getting Halo the TV series March 1st.
Okay. If it's
So-
coming to
Okay.
them, eventually it'll come to us. Just like right now with the WWE stuff, the only thing that WWE fans are getting on Netflix is a few years of Raw and the live episodes now. But
Yeah.
if you are on the international Netflix, you get everything. Pay-per-views, all the old stuff, SmackDown, all of it moved over to Netflix internationally.
Yeah.
So I can expect that, and eventually, I think by the beginning of 2026, all of it will be on Netflix out here as well. So just like you said, give it time,
and that
and we'll see it.
and that includes SmackDown too, right?
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Yep.
They're just waiting. Basically, they're just waiting for the Universal deal to be up, and I believe
Yep.
it's up in January 2026.
Yep.
So once the
And-
Universal deal is up, then they. But SmackDown's still gonna stay. So here's something to tell the fans of it that are waiting, WWE fans that are waiting for that. The SmackDown will still be airing on USA because they just signed like a new 5-year deal with USA, which means there will probably be a 30-day delay between when SmackDown is available on Netflix and when it airs live. Just like there was originally with the Universal when it was on Raw on Peacock. you would get it on Peacock, and then it take 30 days for it to end up on, or you would get it on live on USA, and then it would take 30 days for it to be on Peacock. It's probably going to be the same thing with the
Yeah,
with the
because I looked at Peacock, and their most recent uh, Friday Night SmackDown is from January 17th.
Yeah. See, they're normally about a month behind. So yeah, I would expect probably the same thing with SmackDown. But Raw, as it is right now, is airing. You know, unless they just signed an extension, and when the Universal deal is up, their deal with USA is up, and they're moving SmackDown to Netflix. That shit would be dope, but I doubt that's happening. I want to say they signed like a 5-year deal for their SmackDown.
All right.
So, or maybe
So we'll
who
just
knows?
wait and see.
We're gonna have to wait and see. But you got anything else for us, brother?
Just we're 1 month late, but happy 20th anniversary to Battlestar Galactica.
Battlestar
Yeah.
Galactica. You know what I want to see remade?
2005.
Go ahead.
Yeah, 2005.
Wow.
We revisited the Galactica and its ragtag fleet, and yep, science fiction TV was never the same after that.
You know what movie I want to see either redone or have a sequel done to, and brought back as a video game?
Right.
Wing Commander. Like that
Well-
movie was pretty dope for what it was. It wasn't the best sci-fi movie ever, but bring back Freddie Prinze Jr., bring back Matthew Lillard. I love it. Like,
Well,
give me some more
here's-
Kilwathi.
Yep. Here's the problem:
What's that?
Wing Commander is owned by EA.
Oh, damn it. Never mind.
Yep. Sorry.
That yeah.
They could at
'cause-
least put out a new game or re-release the old games
well,
on digital.
Dude.
No,
Right.
you know what? No.
Yeah,
Actually, there are a couple of I think it can be done on Steam if I'm not mistaken.
Steam, and the janky ass EA launcher, proprietary EA launcher that will no longer work as of March 14th because Windows has abandoned support for 32-bit app development.
I just want Privateer.
Privateer, I believe, is one of the ones that you can get.
Yeah, I love that fucking game. That
But
game.
I want Wing
was-
Commander
was
on
king.
my console, not on my PC. I want it on my console.
Oh, I understand, but you know,
Yeah, I know
it's
they ain't
EA.
gonna give it to me. I know
It's-
it ain't gonna give it to me.
Yeah.
But all right, so we'll close out the pop culture corner with that there, and we'll go to our first and only commercial block of the day. So we'll be back in about 10 minutes, y'all, to talk some wrestling, pro wrestling, however you say it, right here on the Cheap Pop Podcast. Deuces.
This is now versus then. This is now versus then. Get on your mark, let's go. This is now versus then. Burning up your radio, still turning up the heat with Poetic on the flow. Got you moving to the beats with the Saint as your host. Shout out the collective, hold it down, we gon' clown, that's the lesson. We're Generation X meets Generation Next, with them bangers from the east to the south to the west. Yeah, this how we do it in Sacktown. Slide to the studio, yup, it goes down. These beats gon' pound, waking the game up, told you it goes down. And this is only the intro. Turn the mics on, shout out to my kinfo. Where you at, y'all? Let's get this started. Turn down for what? We about to start the party. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. This is now versus then. This is now versus then. This is now versus then. This is now versus then.
You got to keep it keep it. You got to keep it lovely. You got to keep it. Keep it. You got to keep it lovely. Success comes right after the struggle. I ain't even giving up on whatever I wanted. The tragedies I've seen, I can't even stomach. Most of y'all weak as shit and would've started running. Every time I make it back to the crib, I'm thankful the Most High let me see all of it. Grateful I'm lovely, and I'm being real with this. Please don't judge me, I'ma stay on my shit. I'ma keep a grind mode button, push it, make it do something. No balls for me, cause I'm a loose cannon. I get to choose, camera, switch it up, look up a new banner. Keep smoking on that banner.
They say that beauty is in the eye of the beholder. But the definition of beauty is distorted. Yeah. Come on. Searching for yourself, so insecure about the way you look, so you go to Miami. You can't find the love within yourself.
Hey, what's up, y'all out there in TV land or Twitch land or whatever we're doing today? My name is Dark Lord 100, aka Double KK Double. I am the host of Cheap Pop Podcast and the Classroom, as well as your favorite music show, KD5P. I'm here to tell you about the Live 365 lineup that we have coming up starting on February 3rd, Monday, February 3rd. We'll open up Mondays through Fridays with Now versus Then. Deuce, classic episode from the Blog Talk Radio days. We follow that up with an FU Wrestling podcast from Spreaker, starring myself, Double K, and your boy Cole. We follow that up with, again, me, Double K's Classroom, old sports show I used to do 30 minutes from 6:20 to 6:50. We follow that up with West Coast Bias, myself, O'Malley Duel, and Suave, bringing you sports talk from a few years back. Then we have Now versus Then. That's the centerpiece of our day at 9:35 a.m. with a classic episode of Now versus Then. And every Wednesday at 9:35, you'll get a new episode of Now versus Then Deuce from Twitch. At 12:45, you'll hear an episode of KD5P, K-Do's Fifth Period Music Class, that you can hear right here on Live 365 every Saturday night. And you can hear a replay of it every Tuesday night at 12, or Tuesday afternoon at 12:45. You can also listen to at 3:20 the Cheap Pop Podcast, followed by NBT Deuce at 5:30. Great episodes. Probably the same episode from the morning. Lip Gloss and Mics has now moved to the 9:05 slot with a new episode of The Classroom on every Friday. And then we close out our night down and dirty, the Kings and Queens of Porn. That'll be every Monday through Friday right here on Live 365. Catch us at live365.com/First GenXers, or you can go to the Live 365 app, look for the First GenXers Radio Network, and that's where you'll find us. All this and more right here on Live 365. Peace.
have to say, Jaden Daniels has been fun to watch and getting to see him grow, because I think he is going to be a good quarterback.
Yes.
And so I'm happy that that is one of the Monday Night Football games. That actually could be a decent game.
Yeah.
I think I care more about seeing that game, and not just because of him, but I care more about that one than I do the earlier game.
All right, and it's Double K back with you again, host of the Cheap Pop Podcast in the Classroom, also your favorite music show, KD5P, and I'm here to talk to you about the Saturday and Sunday lineup. Last video we did Monday through Friday. This week we're going to do Saturday and Sunday. All these shows will be airing on Saturday and Sunday concurrently till about mid-afternoon, and then we go into two different lineups. On Saturday, Sunday mornings at 12:30 a.m., you get a classic episode of Brick House 2.0. Followed up by Lovely Radio, which is back on the air with First GenXers. And we have Mr. Deacon at 5:15 a.m. Sam Brett Radio now moves up from the 10 a.m. slot to 7:25 a.m. on Saturdays and Sundays. And the 10 o'clock slot now goes to Ms. Optimism, back with us again after a short hiatus. We follow that up with another episode of Lovely Radio at 12:10. And then we get Sam Brett one more time at 2:45. You get about an hour and 15-minute episode on Sundays, and you get a full 2-hour episode on Saturdays. That episode will air right before the live episode of K-Double's 5th period music class on Saturday nights from 5 to 8. Right here live on Live 365, where K-Double brings you some of the hottest tunes from the 70s, 80s, 90s, and 2000s. And then we close out Saturday nights with the Worldwide Wrestling Podcast from 8:15 to 11. So on Sundays, you go from Sam Brett to 4:10, The Classroom. 45-minute episode of an old version of The Classroom that we had over on Spreaker. And we'll follow that up with Dirty Talk 101 at 5:30. And we close out with 7:40, the Worldwide Wrestling Podcast, another great edition of me and your boy Cole. And we close out at 10:10 p.m. with the Sidebar. So thank you for listening or seeing me here on Twitch, if you're watching on Twitch or YouTube. And join us on any one of our platforms here at First GenXers and Double KK Double Network. You got 2KK2network.com, my website. You also have the twitch.tv/First GenXers, and you also have Live 365 where you can find us or you're listening to us here. And we also have for those podcast folks over on Spreaker, a place where you can find the Cheap Pop Podcast and the Classroom on podcast. And you can download it and everything. So that's it from me for this week. This time around, I'll be back again with a new schedule as of May 1st. But until then, y'all enjoy this lineup and stay up. Peace. Not the big sweaty men, but yeah. All right, y'all. What is up? What is up? Welcome back to the Cheap Pop Podcast. As always, hold on. I hate doing this live on air, but it's fun when we do. Doop, doo, 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 doo. Come on. You know, there you go. Boop. All right. So moving us around there. A little variety. All right. So I am Dark Lord 100, your host with the most, and above me is on the left the Saint from Now Versus Then. What's up, brother? And on the right, Mr. Good? Dave Runescrier, or vice versa, depending on how you're looking at the screen.
Just don't call me late for dinner.
Exactly. Shoot. It depends on what the dinner is. If it's a good dinner, I'm here for it. All right, so we talked a little bit about pop culture. We talked a little bit about Brave New World. Now we move into what is one of my favorite segments of the show, and that is Smackdown Alley. Where we talk, as Dave so affectionately put it, about big sweaty men. We're going to talk a little bit about Raw and SmackDown that both took place this week. With the Elimination Chamber basically in order right now. Seth Rollins was the final guy going in. We ended up getting a few matches set up for Elimination Chamber this year. One of my favorite matches, and I'll be honest with you, a lot of people don't like Adam Pearce. They find him boring. They prefer Nick Aldis over on SmackDown. And don't get me wrong, Nick is exciting. He's got his beautiful wife, Mickey James, like good, great man. Magnus physique, But I personally like Adam Pearce. And the promo between Adam Pearce and Sami Zayn to open up Raw has to be bad crowd because I loved every minute of it. Especially Adam Pearce saying it's not official. It's unsanctioned. Yeah. So they get to beat the snot out of each other in Toronto. Hopefully this will be the last time that we see Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens, because this is the carry to one. Figure out with Z. 3 millionth match that they've had against each other. So hopefully this will be the last one that we see for a while. But this one will be fun. No rules, no ref, just them beating the hell out of each other. I think there will be a ref, but the ref will only be there to count to 3, like in the chamber or anything like that. I would find it funny in matches. Saint, you're muted. We couldn't hear you, bro. I'll say I would love to see it to where the crowd counts to 3. You know how the crowd always goes 1, 2, 3. Don't put any ref in the ring. Just let the crowd count it. 1, 2, and the guy's got to kick out before the crowd hits 3. I think that would be a great gimmick to a match.
That would be the crowd, yeah. But then you got to think about it though. You might end up getting a slow count for the heel. You know what I'm saying? And be like 1, 1.5.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot.
1 3/4.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Just like
Let me restart.
or start a slow count.
Yeah.
Or there'll be like a 1, 3. That's it.
If you can get one crowd on the same page to do that at the same time, man, I'll give you cash because that would be amazing to see. But yeah, so we've now heard of we're getting a unsanctioned match between Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. We're getting a tag team match as announced on SmackDown at Elimination Chamber between Nia Jax and the Poison Pixie, Candice LeRae, taking on Tiffany Stratton and Trish Stratus. Are you guys ready to be stratified? I know I am.
Yeah.
She still looks good for like what, 52, 53?
Yeah.
Get it, girl. Get it. No hate here.
Charlotte Flair's
Yeah,
still
she
maintaining.
is like 52, huh?
Yep. Oh, Trish is a couple years older than me.
She's old school.
Yeah, she is. She's from the days of Lita, and she wasn't young when she was doing it back in the day with Lita. She was like 27, 20, or I want to say she was 24, 25 when she was doing it back then.
Yeah.
So it's not like she started as a teenager,
Right.
but she's still just as beautiful, and she can still get it in the ring. I was watching, it's hilarious. I was watching SmackDown, and we'll get back to Raw in just a second. I was watching SmackDown with your boy Cole from Raw Impact, right? And we noticed that when Nia Jax did the whatchamacallit, her move out of the corner onto Trish Stratus and Tiffany Stratton, you could see she kind of slows herself down in midair and just kind of boop and taps Trish Stratus with her butt. He's like, nah, man, Trish is mad. I'm like, no, Trish is happy. Trish's ribs can't take love Nia Jax. She is a beautiful
Yeah.
woman, but that big of a woman just crashing down and letting her body weight just crash into her, like she'd
Nope.
have punctured 3 lungs and broke a rib if Nia really just let gravity do its job. Like no, Trish Stratus is very very thankful that Nia Jax did not come crashing down on her for that move. But in general, Trish, not like I can't wait to see it. It's going to be fun to watch. We on Raw this week. We had a surprise win, 2 surprise wins. Oh no, SmackDown gave us a surprise win, and then Raw gave us the other one. Raw gave us the surprise win with Roxanne Perez beating beating
Raquel Rodriguez.
to get into the Elimination Chamber. The Prodigy is in. Saint,
He's
gotta
gonna be-
unmute yourself.
That was crazy.
Yeah,
That
was.
that was crazy.
You know, I was highly impressed. Roxanne Perez, get it, girl. I hope you give us a show out there.
Yeah.
Like, go ahead.
Yeah. I mean, she's definitely getting the push.
Yeah, 100%. Oh, so I saw this meme on Facebook that pointed this out. That when Bianca and Naomi came out and attacked Liv, right? Did you notice that Liv Tyler was in the movie too. That was awesome.
Morgan.
Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez were wearing the colors of the Toros from Bring It On, and Bianca Belair and Naomi were wearing literally the exact same cheer outfit, or the exact pattern cheer outfits of the opposite team from the movie Bring It On. Like I
gotta
didn't
go
even
back and
notice.
watch that again.
Yeah, I didn't even
Yeah.
notice it. Like I noticed Bianca, I noticed the tag team champs, I noticed the champs outfits. I was like, wow, those look like the ones from the girls from Bring It On. But I didn't notice that Raquel Rodriguez and Liv were in the opposite color scheme. I was like, that's pretty dope. Like little things like that always crack me up. But I like that that's building. I think we're going to see a tag team title match between those two or those 4 ladies pretty soon. And I hate to say this, it can't come soon enough. They haven't really done enough with Naomi and Bianca Belair. They're on every show, but they're not really doing anything. Like they're just wrestling random people, and they're building a storyline, but they're not really doing anything important. And I think that they could be doing a lot more with both of them. So I think
They're basically waiting for Jade to get back
right.
from her break.
I think something's gonna probably happen at
Elimination.
the Elimination Chamber.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'll be this upcoming Saturday. So
Actually, I could see Elimination Chamber, the tag team match going up, and Liv and Raquel and Judgment Day take out Naomi,
okay.
and she's injured, and then we get the surprise return of Jade Cargill.
I could see that happening. I could also see that Liv and Raquel just end up taking the titles from Naomi and whatchamacallit, and bringing them to Judgment Day. Like because at this point in time, I think that's what they're building to. What's up, Saint?
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, no, I was gonna say, I guarantee you, when Jade Cargo comes back, when she does come back, I honestly believe that her and Bianca are not gonna get along. Yeah, I can definitely see
That's
that.
the other,
I'm definitely seeing that. Somebody's getting ready to turn heel.
Yeah.
I can see that.
That's the other thing.
And I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if it was Bianca Belair.
And see, here's the thing that again, it's not that I'm trying to throw salt on the parade. I just don't think Jade's ready for that feud yet. I think everybody wants to see it. I want to see it too. I think in ring wise, she is not ready for that feud, for that match to deliver in the way it would need to deliver in order for it to be as spectacular as it should be between those 2 ladies.
Oh,
So
it'll
I
be
don't
a
know.
year long. It would be a year long thing, not on no WrestleMania
So.
No, this would be something else.
So
But yeah,
we'll see where they very well could be leading to that. You know, it could come back and be revealed that Bianca was the one that actually attacked Jade. Jade tells the world. Who knows? Um, but at the end of the day, man, I'm here for it all. We also saw on Raw. This was the other thing that I wanted to mention. Dakota Kai is now your new number one contender for my girl, my baby girl, Lyra Valkyria.
My Raven Queen.
Woo! Woo! Anyway, yeah, for her Intercontinental title, and unfortunately, I think Kai's gonna actually get it. But I don't know. Are they supposed to face each other at Elimination Chamber? I don't think that was
I
advertised.
don't think so. No.
I think it was just like she's the number one contender
No.
now, and they're gonna
Yeah.
have a future
Yeah.
match.
Isn't Lyra in Women's Elimination Chamber?
No,
Okay.
I want to say she lost her match.
Yeah.
Yeah, neither is Chelsea Green. I want to say Chelsea Green lost her match as well on the SmackDown side. So, but you know, like I said, I wouldn't mind seeing her in a singles match. She can go.
Yep.
So
So that's a good. I mean, it's a good build up. It's Dakota Kai is kind of one of those neutral. It's like she can go either way, face or heel,
yeah,
as needed. So yeah, we'll see how that all shakes out.
yeah. And
but
we now
yeah.
we now officially have one more star in the Elimination Chamber with Seth freaking Rollins beating Finn
Yep.
Balor on Monday night to launch himself into there. I don't know. I can't say for 100% sure that
I don't know who's gonna get it
Yeah.
for real.
on either side there are multiple people who could win it on either side, on the women's side and on the men's side.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, this is gonna be one of those. This is gonna be one of these elimination chambers from both ends. Like, we don't know who the fuck is gonna win, but we knows that somebody's gonna is gonna turn up with these
Yeah.
two next belts. But I'm hoping. I would like to see John Cena in there,
Yeah.
but I don't think it's going to be his time just yet.
Yeah. Well, I said it last week. I'd still think it'd be hella funny if they go all year. Cena's in like 4 or 5 different championship matches, and he ends the year with no title, with no 17th title. Like, I just think that would be awesome. Not because I don't want to see him win it, because I've always thought Cena deserved to be the one to break Flair's record, but I just would love to see the build and how they would do each match, knowing that the intention throughout the year is not to have him win the title.
Yeah. One thing on
Or he'll retire with the title.
yeah.
Either way.
One thing on Seth Rollins though.
Mm-hmm.
We now have 2 going crazy storylines in WWE. You got Seth
Okay.
Rollins and you got Kevin Owens.
Okay. What do you mean with
And-
Seth Rollins going crazy?
Oh, just the absolute amount of, he's just going, the way he's going after Roman Reigns, and all, he feels betrayed by Roman Reigns. He wants to destroy Roman Reigns.
Oh, well, that's ongoing. That's been Seth Rollins'
yeah,
whole career
yeah, I
since he
know,
broke up the
but-
Shield.
Right, but oh yeah, but my point is that you now have 2 competing, bloody escalation storylines.
Okay.
Right.
So, what are we going to get for Seth and Roman to compare to the Cody Kevin fight that we got?
Well, I think you're gonna get an amazing match. Like, trust me.
Yeah.
Like, I think that what we're building to is that if not at I think somehow at Elimination Chamber, Roman Reigns is somehow going to be responsible for Seth Rollins not winning, because I think we're definitely building to Roman versus Seth penultimate match at WrestleMania, because both of them, because if you think about it, it set it up like I'm saying
yeah.
Roman feuding with Roman cost Seth the Royal Rumble this year and any chance of going to WrestleMania and winning the championship. Seth cost Roman his title last year, and Roman's obsession with Seth cost him his title at WrestleMania last year to Cody Rhodes. So I think you have the final thing of somehow Roman Reigns cost Seth Rollins the Elimination Chamber, and that leads to Roman versus because you don't have Roman in the Elimination Chamber, so there's no way to have Roman going for either title. So now you have now you have a reason for Roman versus Seth, because they've been screwing each other the past few months. You have a reason for Roman versus Seth at WrestleMania, and I think they're going to
Yeah,
give us something epic.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I'm not saying that it's a bad thing or it doesn't make
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah.
I'm just pointing out that you're kind of getting into the problem that DC has, in that their biggest competition is themselves.
Yeah. Right.
And that's that's the problem is
Well,
no matter what happens, one of those matches, one of those rivalries is going to feel like an epic letdown.
Well, and I think here's where I disagree with you. I don't see the two storylines as so similar. Like, I think that there are similarities between the way that they're going about building Seth Rollins and Drew McIntyre, but I don't see it as a direct parallel, similarity to where one sees them both as duplicate matches on the card. I think
Right.
there's a good chance that Drew could win Elimination Chamber and go on to face Cody for the championship. Like, there's a very good. I think Drew would be in my top 3 of the 3 guys that I think could win the Elimination Chamber. Whereas with Seth, I think that it's a different kind of build, because him and Roman have literally been building for almost 10 years now. And
Yeah,
they
that's
faced
true.
each other
Yeah.
once or twice. I think they faced each other during Roman's Universal title reign at a WrestleMania, or not WrestleMania, but a Royal Rumble a few years back. And the match didn't even end with a clean finish. Like, it ended with Roman getting DQ'd because he wouldn't let Seth go. So, like, they've been building that feud with very little contact between Roman, whereas with Drew and whoever he ends up facing at WrestleMania, because he will have a match on the card, it's kind of like he's going to have a quick build, which is why I think it could be him in the Elimination Chamber. It's going to be a quick build from Elimination Chamber to WrestleMania. I've always said this to people who watch WWE, and you guys I haven't really mentioned it on the show much, but I try to say this a lot. The Monday night after Elimination Chamber is almost as important as the Monday night after WrestleMania, because all of your feuds for the 6-week run up to WrestleMania start on the Monday Night Raw after Elimination Chamber. You know what I'm saying? So you're gonna start seeing your WrestleMania card come into play in the next 3 weeks. Like, as far as we already know, we got Tiffany versus Charlotte. We already know we got Jay versus Gunther. Other than that, we don't have any other matches. By the time Elimination Chamber is over, we'll start seeing who the matches are. Like, I'll be honest with you, I think Dakota Kai's match may come at WrestleMania. So that way they make it an even bigger moment if she does take the title from Lyra Valkyria. But I do get what you're saying, but I don't necessarily see it the same way, because I don't see the two storylines as that similar to where one would be one could be.
Well, I will tell you.
Go ahead.
Well, I will tell you this. And I mean, I don't want to switch the venues, but man, the one element that I am definitely paying attention to, and it's over on SmackDown, are the Street Profits.
Yeah.
These
doing a good thing.
motherfuckers, man, it's like
They're building them.
Friday. Yeah, they're
building 'em,
Friday.
for sure.
Yeah, whoo, Lord have mercy. He came in there. They both came in there, wreck shop, and then here come the Motor City Machine Guns, thinking they fixing to come in there, and they
Laying them
just
out too.
did like they did a Team 3D on them niggas.
Yep. And I can
That
say
was
this.
that was bad, and Lord have mercy, Pretty Deadly. Now, I'm not a big fan of Pretty Deadly,
Yeah,
but they was kicking smash.
yeah, yeah. They came out.
They were
Unfortunately,
kicking.
they were a wooden sword that unfortunately came across a buzzsaw called the Street Profits. I want to say, at the end of the day, I love what they're doing because they have DIY basically ignoring the Street Profits and trying to focus on every other tag team and doing this, that, and this, and the Profits will not be ignored, and I love it. And I think that they're now. Here's the thing about it. Everybody that's always I'm sick and tired of the narrative, and I do understand. I understand the narrative about Triple H and race and so on and so forth. It does not seem like he builds and puts over black wrestlers the way he does white wrestlers. I understand the argument and I understand the optics of it. But then you see something like what he's doing with the Street Profits and what he did with the Street Profits in NXT. He has always pushed those boys. Those boys were basically Grand Slam champions within a year of hitting the main roster. They had won the NXT titles, held them for a while. They came up to the main roster and won the Raw titles. They held those for a while. Jumped over to SmackDown and won the SmackDown titles. All within their first year. So you can't tell me that
Grand
they didn't
Slam.
get pushed. They're not being pushed right now. They weren't being pushed recently. But like they've had their pushes. And so I don't always understand this narrative that he doesn't like maybe he doesn't know what to do with guys like Bobby Lashley, but he builds black wrestlers like he does. And watch what happens with this. I think we're leading to if I'm reading the tea leaves correctly, I think we're leading to a Street Profits victory at WrestleMania, probably in a multi-team tag team match.
A fatal 4-way.
Yeah, and they're going to end up winning the titles and holding the titles. But here's the thing about it. These are the heel Street Profits, guys. These aren't your best friends. These aren't party
And I
all the
like
time.
that.
These are
No,
the
I
heels.
like that.
This is Montez
like
no
that.
shit Ford.
Yeah, like
and Angelo and your ass Dawkins. So like Street
Yeah.
Profits.
no, listen, I like that whole attitude. I like the theme.
Yep.
But the one thing
Wearing
that
all
will
black,
never
all bright
change,
colors.
that will never change, we want the smoke.
Yep. And to be honest with you, you know what's hilarious is I think this is where we were headed with them when they were joining Bobby Lashley. I think this is where we were headed with them, and it got derailed when Bobby Lashley got released. Like I think we were heading towards heel Street Profits, and now we're finally here. Let's go. As Pat McAfee would say, let's fucking go.
All I have to say is WrestleMania Tag Team Champs, New Day.
Well, we could see
No.
them win. We could see them.
Yeah.
We could see them win the World Tag Team Champion. Remember, they're on Raw, and I think we could see. To be honest with you, I think we could be building to a multi-man tag match at WrestleMania for both tag team belts.
I agree with that. And New Day, they're setting New Day up as just such a joke right now, that they need something where it's like, yeah, take us seriously.
Well,
Recognize us.
Well, they're heels now, and that's the thing.
Oh, yeah, I know
is
that.
is they don't want to be the type of heels that dominate. Not right now, at least. They're gonna have their moment. I think they're gonna have their moment. I think here's what's funny, is I think if Big E can get cleared, which is I think what we're waiting for, I think that everybody's gonna see Big E come back, and they're gonna think that he's gonna like face off against the New Day, like he's gonna be ready to fight them both, and then they're all gonna start slapping hands. And Big E's going to take off. He's going to have a black New Day shirt on underneath it, too. And he's just going to go heel with them. And all three of them are just going to be bad guy, always wearing black and gray.
Yeah.
Anime villains, like New Day. Like, we'll see, though. We'll see, though. Speaking of anime
I
villains.
can see that.
Yeah.
Did you guys hear that the great legend, New Orleans legend, Louisiana Knight wrestled on SmackDown?
Yeah, that shit was funny as fuck, bro.
Hey, R-Truth, you are a national treasure. May we always appreciate you and give you your flowers because you deserve it, bro. You deserve it. He had me hook, line, and sinker. He's like, Louisiana legend. I was like, who the book? He's like, Louisiana Night. And I was like, truth, really, really. And then the entire moment of the week for me, R-Truth tags in the Miz. R-Truth completely forgets which tag team he's on and tags in the Miz. That was great. That was just awesome. And
Uh,
I don't know. I kind of like the tagline "Mello doesn't miss." Like, I don't know. I'm kind of feeling it. I'm kind of feeling it.
The awesome truth. I miss that, man.
They finally got their tag team title run though. Even though I think R-Truth, that would have been a prime time. That version of R-Truth would have been a prime time to put the main strap on him. And I think if Vince wasn't in charge, he would have won the WWE Championship at some point, because that heel R-Truth, that dude was fucking gold too. Little Jimmy, like, man, yeah, that was my dude right there.
Little Jimmy.
Little Jimmy, man, little Jimmy, you can't fuck with little Jimmy.
mm.
But yeah, that moment just I had to fall out my chair when that happened. When Truth looked over at Miz and said, and then got out the ring and looked at him like, oh, bro. Like, oh. Miz is like, hell. Oh, man. All right. So, let's see. I didn't get to see the finish of the main event. So maybe one of you guys, if you watched it, could clue me in on what happened with Braun Strowman and Damian.
Oh.
I saw it, but I fell
Oh
asleep.
Lord. Look. Damian Priest did his thing. Slammed the hell out of Solo Sikoa and just did his thing. But Braun Strowman, well, they took it outside. They took it outside and
BS.
you know he threw the hammers on him. That's one big SOB.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he is.
Indeed.
Let me see. Also, now we'll get to the main event of the evening. The final boss, not The Rock, not Dwayne Johnson. The final boss showed up at SmackDown.
Vince McMahon.
No. And he asked for Cody's soul.
You don't say the VM word.
He who should not be named.
Valerius Cantankerous McCheese. VKM.
Are we going to have like a whole year-long storyline quest with Raw and SmackDown, where we're trying to find Vince's 7 horror cruxes and destroy them? To fully purge pro wrestling of him.
But no, but The Rock showed up, and like I said, he asked for Cody's soul. Said, "Would you be my champion?" I don't know where this is leading. I can't even guess. But evidently, it's supposed to be a part of what happens at Elimination Chamber. I think what we're gonna get. I think what they're trying to duplicate is this. I think they're trying to duplicate Austin McMahon. I think they're trying to build the final boss up as a VKM type character, a Mr. McMahon type character, and Cody's gonna fight against him. Or
I can see it.
Or we're rerunning the Stone Cold sells his soul moment, where this goes on till WrestleMania, and then The Rock helps Cody retain, and Cody sells his soul to The Rock, and heal Cody for the next few months, because we already have face Roman Reigns, so you can't really have face Roman Reigns versus face Cody. So you have Cody, you have Cody turn on the WWE universe, and you get heel Cody versus face Roman.
Okay, I could see it. I could definitely see it. I could see that happening. I don't know. It's gonna be interesting.
Yeah. All we saw was The Rock spin his offer at SmackDown. We didn't get a response from Cody. Cody was just left dumbstruck in the ring. But I don't know. I think this could be the way that we get to heel Cody and face Roman. So, all right. So we'll close that. We'll close Pop Culture Corner, or not Pop Culture Corner, but SmackDown Alley out there. And we will jump on over to the PS5 and the Xbox X. All right. Video game reviews. What do y'all have for us this week, gentlemen?
Okay.
Yeah.
I have been checking out this. It's actually a demo, but the game is actually out, and it's called Diesel Legacy: The Brazen Age, and it's kind of like a beat 'em up at the same time as a 2-on-2 fighting game.
Okay.
Like,
Okay.
but it takes place like during the 1920s and 1930s. So, do you remember that game, Eternal Champion,
No.
for the Sega Genesis?
The name is familiar.
Okay, it's kind of like Mortal Kombat, but in the sense like fatalities or shit like that. So there was like a special move where this lady, she pulled off her special move and a car drove by and was popping out a machine gun and shooting everybody, you
Oh, hell
know.
no.
And then there was one where this other one, she hit like donuts and was hitting like it was like a mail truck. And she hit the character with the mail truck like 4 times, like bow, 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 bow. Like, you know, it was crazy. But um it's for, I believe it is just for, I think it's just for the PS5, but I don't want to
Okay.
be 100% sure, but I believe it may be for the Xbox.
Uh-huh.
But this is going to be this is going to be something, because I do all the fighting games and stuff like that. So
That you do.
yeah, so it's something.
Okay. Okay.
It's something that we can work with.
That we can
Yeah.
work with. I'm down for it.
Okay.
Okay. So,
Dave.
all right. Well, I've just got much news from the video game world.
Okay.
All right. First off, the Nintendo Switch 2.
Okay.
There are reports that Switch 2 is currently selling on the Chinese black market for
Okay.
over 30,000 British pounds per unit.
Which is
I think about between 45 and 60,000 US.
damn.
Damn.
Yep. So, yeah, coming out. Someone probably got their hands on a distribution load and went right across the Gulf to sell them Hong Kong, Shanghai.
Wow. Says it's
That's crazy.
37,896 American dollars is how much it could cost. It would cost you to get a
Nintendo Switch,
Switch 2.
on the black market before. When is it getting released?
I don't know. I haven't checked the date.
Probably. I think it's probably this Christmas release.
Yeah.
So yeah, a couple months early. So,
Hey, if you
yeah.
got money to spend like that, more power to you. I
Yeah.
don't.
Yeah.
But if you got money to
I
spend
don't
like
either.
that, more power to you.
I'm on a
All right.
budget.
Yeah, yes, same here. All right. Speaking of upcoming releases, Assassin's Creed Shadows. That's coming up on its way,
Okay.
but it's already facing protests in Japan.
Wow.
but from Shinto priests are very upset because in Assassin's Creed Shadows, you are able to destroy shrines.
Ooh. Well, it's just digitally. People ain't really doing it.
I I get both sides of the conflict. I, I I'm staying in my lane. I'm not offering an opinion. I'm just reporting the news. How you decide. Okay.
You decide
But
how you feel. Yeah.
Yeah, I did see something. I did see something about that. Well, my thing is this about the whole Assassin's Creed thing. I have not enjoyed an Assassin's Creed game since Syndicate. When they started when they started doing more of RPG instead of going out, doing missions, executing motherfuckers like it's no tomorrow in a
Yeah.
style unseen. I just couldn't get into the RPG element. And then Mirage, I was really disappointed in that one. I didn't even really finish playing that one. Like it just like it was really turned off on me on that. So as far as I'm concerned, the series for me, I mean, I'll eventually check it out. I
Yeah.
have to see, gameplay because I mean, I like I said, I've owned almost every single Assassin's Creed game except right now, except for one,
Yeah.
Mhm. Okay.
and I play those games, bro.
Right. Okay. And my last bit of news. Um, it's too late to do it now, but Bethesda Softworks gave us a kinda update on Elder
Okay.
Scrolls 6 in the sense that this past week they did a charity auction for the Make of Witch Foundation where you could bid to become an NPC in Elder Scrolls 6.
Ah, nice.
You would digitally be inserted into Elder Scrolls 6 as something they'd work for and figure out what the character is. Um, like I said, this ended on the I think 18th or 20th or something like that. It ended last week. Um, but last time I checked, the leading bid was over $7,000.
I'm good.
So
If I gotta
yeah,
pay to do
we
it, I'm good.
yeah, and but this leads into an interesting
And
question
it's a
that
bid.
yeah,
Like it's
Uh,
a bid. Like I just $7,000 and I bid to be on the character, and I might not even get the chance. That's $7,000 gone. Get the fuck out of here.
no, you don't pay if you don't win.
uh,
Yeah,
Mhm.
but
Hey, you never know.
yeah, but this does bring an interesting possibility though that I just thought
what's
of.
that?
With modding becoming so advanced in and accepted in the AAA game space. I'm not just talking about with Bethesda. I'm talking about with across the board.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How long until we start getting um, mods where you'll take a bunch of pictures of you that you upload, and then you can insert yourself into the game, possibly as a protagonist or as an NPC or something like that.
They
Well,
well, I see what you're saying.
they kind of.
The
Well,
technology
I'm not.
already exists for them to be able to do
Yeah,
that because if
Yeah,
you
it's
look at
because
the
you
just
could.
not
2K
as
face
it's just
scan, you can
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
you could put yourself in 2K.
yeah.
So
So, but I'm talking about like next um, Bethesda or next Larian or CG
Oh,
Project Red.
something. Okay, I see
Yeah,
what you're saying.
yeah, where you're able to put yourself into the game in some way.
right.
Um, that's already like EA is wanting to cut down development by turning the player base into dev staff, unpaid dev staff, where they upload stuff like shirts and artwork and other stuff like that that gets added into the various EA sports games
Right.
for crowd scenes and stuff like that. Um, so, for that matter, um, how long is it going to be before we're going to start getting AI generated mods that are essentially new chapters? Like, for example, Skyrim. My biggest number one complaint about Skyrim is, spoiler alert for the 11-year-old game that everyone's played, you cannot you cannot get Balgruf and Ulrich to agree to come to some form of compromise.
Yeah.
You if you want to kick the Empire out of Skyrim, you gotta betray Balgruf, who's been pretty much the solid got your back thrall in all of Skyrim to you.
Okay.
And you got to turn your back on him to free your homeland. Okay,
Right.
so think about a mod that someone comes up with that that with all new animation, all new dialogue, dialogue based off of vocal samples of the voice actors, where you get your speech level up to say Epic 2, and you can convince either both Balgruf and Ulrich to come to a compromise, to get Balgruf to support the Stormcloaks, to get the Stormcloaks to agree to support Whiterun's agriculture in the rebellion and afterwards, since that's the big hand
Yeah.
for Balgruf. And so you can get them to unify like that. And so that way you don't get, you know, Sven placeholder as
That's what it plays on.
as as Thane of or as gosh, Jarl of Whiterun,
Yeah.
you know.
Uh,
Um, and even better, have the final confrontation with Ulfric, and your character pulls out the I am the Dragonborn. I'm the inheritor of Talos. I am the leader of the companions of Altmore. I
yeah.
am the I am the head of the Thieves Guild. I am the head of the Black Hand. I am the head of the Mages College. I am High King of Whiterun. You want to or of Skyrim? You want to
Yeah.
test me? Bring it now.
That would be pretty dope. That would be pretty dope.
Yeah.
All right. Well, after that epic speech, I'm gonna go on ahead and leave it there. We were going to move to the final segment of every show, and y'all know what that is. That's right here on Cheap Pop Podcast. We like to know, where can we find you next? That's a great game that we play to close every show.
You know, you
can't
almost you almost got it. Man. You ruined it right there, dude.
Yeah. Urkel don't sound like that no more, my man.
Yeah.
I wasn't
Urkel's a
Yeah.
bad space pirate now.
But I
Okay.
was, yes,
Yeah.
yes. Jaleel White, go on
All
with
And,
your
right.
and he
bad
has
self, boy.
and he has a strain.
Yep, he
And
has
he
a
has a
strain called
strain.
Purple Urkel.
He has an Urkel
Oh,
strain.
all right, Dave, go ahead and kick us off.
Yeah.
What's going on the night shift, sir?
I will be back tonight, web slinging around Manhattan in Spider-Man. Uh, last
Yay!
night I last night I did a bunch of hunting and gathering and crafting in um, Horizon Zero Dawn. I think I got next Saturday will be more hunting, gathering, and crafting in Horizon, because I want to get all those inventory satchels set away before I go and make it out into the world. Get as much inventory space as possible, and best weapons as possible. But yeah, tonight it's Spider-Man as we continue that saga.
All right. Saint, sir, where can we find you next?
Well, you can find me, I guess, regardless of what happens, there will be a special edition of either Now versus Then or NDT Deuce. I haven't decided exactly which one yet, but we're going to get it all figured out. We'll get it all figured out. And it will be a special time. And that will be posted in a little bit. So, yeah.
All right, and as for me, unfortunately, folks, I'm going to be sans O'Malley and will be taking this week off, so there will be no classroom this week. But we will be back next week, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 Eastern, right here on Twitch. And but other than that, you can catch me probably or not probably. I'll be running tomorrow night College Football 25 in Madden. And we'll be actually playing some Madden. I actually took my Road to Glory player and played him through all 4 years of his college, and now he's on to play for the New York Jets on Madden. So we'll be playing some of that, and we'll be playing some College Football 25 on Football Mondays tomorrow night. And you should be able to see, this wonderful face, as well, because I got a camera set up, so we're going to be testing that tomorrow afternoon and then hopefully going live with it tomorrow night. Tried to go live with it, but I learned a very important lesson for all of you new PS5 owners out there. Unless you have a capture card, you cannot hook up a random random HD camera to your PlayStation. You have to get...
Sony wants that proprietary shit.
Yeah, you have to actually go out and spend whatever you need to spend to get a PS5 camera in order to be able to use it. So I will be doing that sometime this week. Other than that, should have my Xbox all set up tomorrow with the camera I already have, and we'll see y'all then. What's up?
You want to know how absolutely fucking levels of petty Sony is about proprietary?
Who's that?
I found out that the reason why my PS5 was not working with my main TV, I thought it was just going to be a simple swap out.
Yeah.
I just unplugged my PS4, plug in the PS5. Oh no, because the HDMI cord that I had in the TV going to the PS4 was not the Sony HDMI
The one that came with
cable that came with the PS5. So my PS5 is working now that I found that HDMI cable and have it hooked up to a TV. Yes.
That's insane. That's how, that sounds like Sony.
That's how Sony rolls, people.
I'll still own the next PlayStation. Anyway. All right, y'all, so let's wrap it up. It's been a pleasure. For all of you that joined us on YouTube, for all of you that joined us on Twitch, we appreciate you. We love you. And we'll see you next week. Same bat time, same bat channel, 2:15, right here on Twitch TV /First GenXers. Okay. You can catch this replay over on Live 365, our internet radio station, on Thursdays at 3:20. And you can catch the replay of KD5P from last night at 2 on Tuesday, or you can check out the replays of all of this probably in about an hour over on 2KK2network.com, the website. You see the name right down there. And that will do it. Hope you guys enjoy. Saints raiding us out, so he'll let me know when it's time to go.
Holla.
All right, and we're good.